The video game series I'm going to cover is the Fire Emblem series. The story of Fire Emblem begins in Japan, since the first 6 installments of the game weren't released anywhere else. Intelligent Systems, the division of Nintendo responsible for developing Fire Emblem, released the first Fire Emblem game in 1990 for the NES. The first Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, was the first of its kind. It combined the gameplay of turn-based strategy games with role-playing elements from RPG games. What was born was the tactical role-playing genre. Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light features Marth, who many people recognize from the Super Smash Bros. Series. A unique characteristic of the Fire Emblem series is permanent character death. What it means is that if a Fire Emblem character is defeated in combat, he or she will not be available for the rest of the game. A character death is tragic since many players invest a great deal of effort into leveling up characters, and many of them are extremely likable as well. Ever since the first Fire Emblem game, many features have been added on to the series. Fire Emblem Gaiden, which is the second game in the series, added an overworld map that could be freely explored in between stages. It also introduced branching promotion trees, so the player can choose what class a unit promotes into. The fourth game in the series, Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, added many features that would be used in future Fire Emblem games. The weapon triangle and skill system were added to give more depth to combat. There was also a romance-based mechanic where characters from the first half of the game could fall in love. Lovers give birth to children who continue their parents' fight in the second half of the game. The fifth installment of the series, Fire Emblem Thracia 776, added in Fog of War combat and the Help command, a primitive version of the Rescue command in later Fire Emblem games. Roy, a character many people recognize from Super Smash Bros. Melee, made his debut in Fire Emblem The Sword of Seals, which is the sixth game in the series. Sword of Seals is the first Fire Emblem game to introduce the hard mode for strategically apt gamers, and the ABC support system that many Fire Emblem fans are accustomed to. Due to the popularity of Marth and Roy in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Nintendo decided to release a Fire Emblem game outside of Japan in 2003. That game is Fire Emblem The Blazing Sword for the Game Boy Advance. It is the seventh game in the Fire Emblem series, and although Blazing Sword did not introduce any new features, it was extremely popular due to its great plotline, deep character development, fantastic music, and gameplay refined from 6 prior installments. Blazing Sword sold nearly 700,000 copies and is responsible for Fire Emblem's popularity outside of Japan. The eighth game in the Fire Emblem series is Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. Released in 2005 for the Game Boy Advance, Sacred Stones brought back the Overworld feature that was first introduced in the second Fire Emblem game. The Overworld allowed players to train units and restock weapons in between stages. Sacred Stones also brought back branching promotion trees from the second Fire Emblem game, and a skill system from the fourth Fire Emblem game. Despite criticism for lack of originality, Sacred Stones was nominated for Best RPG and Best GBA Game by GameSpot in 2005. Fast forward to 2013 and the release of Fire Emblem Awakening for the Nintendo 3DS. Awakening incorporates many new features, as well as reintroducing old features from previous Fire Emblem games. One new feature is that the player can create and customize an avatar character as a playable unit. Another feature is that the supporting characters have the option of performing a dual strike and a chance of performing a dual guard. Awakening also brings back the Overworld map, as well as romance-based mechanics. It is also the first Fire Emblem game with a casual mode, where character death is not permanent. Lastly, Awakening takes advantage of the 3DS's Street Pass capabilities to battle other players. Many Fire Emblem players, such as myself, like Fire Emblem for 2 reasons. The first is the addictive gameplay that is unique to tactical role-playing games. It is a mentally stimulating and rewarding task to go from being vastly outnumbered to routing the enemy. And unlike real-time strategy games, turn-based strategy games allows players to carefully plan their moves. The second reason is the fantastic role-playing elements of Fire Emblem. The plots of many Fire Emblem games are well thought out. There are numerous interactions between countries, factions, and other entities that seem natural in the setting of Fire Emblem. Plus, Fire Emblem features many characters, many of whom are likable and well developed. The character interactions are interesting and actually play a role in the game through support and romance mechanic features. All of these features contribute to making Fire Emblem a series for strategically inclined gamers.